My name is Anthony Gray. Welcome to another episode of Grayscale. Today, or this evening, whatever time you're watching this, I'm doing a collaboration with a very talented artist, Yovette Bronson. She's a super artist, sparkling personality. You really should check her website out. It's called Painting with Yovette on YouTube. Give it a try. I think you'll be pleasantly pleased. Gonna redo a painting of mine. She's gonna do it in her style. I'll be repainting it again in my style. I'm gonna do a slightly different approach for it, and it's kind of funny because on the other monitor I actually have a copy of my own painting, so I can see what the heck I actually did. But alright, when I get back we'll start right to it. As you can see here in the back, besides the monitor, I got some black. It's drying right now. On the top here representing the clouds, on the bottom representing a little bit of the land. In between we'll put the sunlight and the water and all that. You'll see as I get onto it. But when I get back we'll get right to it. Alright? Stay tuned. Okay, how you doing? Welcome back. And we're gonna get started with this very fun collab. Very excited to do this. This is actually my very first collaboration, so I'm kind of honored that Yovette would have interest in doing one of these. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just preparing a few of the colors. Right here we got our horizon line right about here. All right, and what I'm going to do right about now is I'm just going to take a pencil and I'll just sketch in a mountain of sorts, just like that. It just goes down and just disappears. Over here, it's going to be one. He's going to be a little larger, but he's going to be below, down here somewhere. Okay, right past the horizon line there. And the sun will be, sun will be somewhere in here like that. All right, okay. And the palm trees will be, somewhere. One is definitely up about this high. The other one's curved, a little beyond the like that, a little beyond the horizon line of the water, and that's about it. Okay, at the time I'm doing this, I don't even think it's noon yet, so got a lot of bright sunlight, and that's what you're looking at right now. All right, okay. I'm going to use my glycerin and shampoo mix medium. I'm going to put a very light coat across this. I don't need too much. And I'm going to use transparent color here over the black. Alright. So I'm getting the transparent medium right now. I'm just dipping it right on in there. Like I said, I need only a very thin amount. And this is about what you see right now. Very thin amount, just like so. I can actually take the rest and just wipe it across here, because I don't need too much of this stuff. I'll just wipe it right across here. Now it will stay wet, or it may not stay wet, don't know, but I'll just put it down here just because. Okay, now some of the color that I'm using up here I might put down here anyway. It's going to be used in that fashion. All right, okay, so let's get really to the getting here. Let's throw in some of this nice bright cad yellow. I didn't enough the paints. I got alizarin crimson, I got dioxazine purple, I got phthalo blue, yellow ochre, and cad yellow so far. All right, okay. And here we go. Boom. I can put that pretty much take this tape off, because all I want to do establish truthfully is a horizon line, and I already did that with the tape. I don't need the tape anymore. But I do need to put this yellow there, just like that. Put the yellow right down there. It can join up like this. It doesn't really matter at this point. It can join up just like that. Okay, just like this. That's the right direction it's supposed to go. Okay, I'll just put it all in there. It don't matter at this point in time. It truly doesn't. Okay, Now that I've did that, let's get a little bit of ochre. Okay, and we'll put the ochre up around in this, like this. But we're gonna continue, we're gonna go up with the ochre. We're gonna come with that ochre a little down here in this direction here, like that. Drag it down, just like this. Go back and forth. I'll go back and forth with this too. It can go up there. It don't matter if it goes on up there or not. I'm gonna strengthen my yellow up in here. Just strengthen that yellow, just like that. Just like that. Bring it down. Bring it down across, just like that. Just want to strengthen the yellow up a little bit. Let's get the smallest bit of this very deep red. Okay, and the red is going to go up around here, just below that dark, just like that. Okay, I'm gonna go down here, down below, down right about here. It's cool, just like that. Bring it right across, just like so, and fade it a little bit. Now remember, I know where my horizon line is, so I'm not really worried about all of that. Okay, I'm gonna take my blender for right now, and you know, away with the streaks. Get kind of smooth there, and it's half into the yellow, half into the red. Circular motion. Okay, very soft, very soft. I'll keep putting in this circular motion, and I'll just keep doing the X strokes, make it very soft, pretty blend there, just like that. Okay, I might want a deeper red by the cloud line in here, like this, and maybe bring some of that down in here, just like that. Okay, and like I say, extremely soft, very, 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 very soft. I'll soften some of this. I'll bring some of that color in there. I'm not worried about up above where it's dark. I'm not too concerned about that. I'm wisping back and forth, extremely light, where the 3 hairs and some air rule would really apply. Okay, because I don't want an abrupt line of color. Around here, not so much. It's okay. Straight line, just like that, and going across. Make it as pretty as possible. All right. Very smooth colors that blend into each other, more or less. Okay. We're gonna keep it moving right along here. Just gonna clean off the brush real quick. This is where it gets interesting. Let's get a little purple. Let's do the purple first. Just a tip on my brush right into this dark, just like this, right into that dark area. Okay, right up in here, just like that. Have it bleed a little bit into that yellow is fine, just like that. That dark in there. All right, that's purple. Don't need too much of the phthalo. But the phthalo is going up on top here, directly on top, all up on top. Put it a little bit in the middle. Mix some of that blue and that phthalo blue and purple in there, just like this, just like that. Okay. Now that I've did that, guess where the rest of it's going? Right down in here. Okay. Matter of fact, let's pop that purple in there first. X strokes right across that dark, just like this. Okay, then I'm gonna get a little bit of that nice phthalo blue color, and we'll put that phthalo blue in there, just like so. And as I'm doing this now, I got to be careful, as you know, just like that, because I know it's gonna start turning a little bit on the greenish side on a brother. Okay, I'm just getting some more purple, a little more purple than that. I really want to accentuate that purple. Give me some more purple in it, right up in here, just like that. Now I'm about to do something real cutesy here in a second. There. Okay, just wash this brush. When it gets to your water, okay, maintain some kind of attractiveness to your water. All right, and you definitely got to blend in this part, okay, where it meets with the red a little bit. And all I'm doing is going in circles, half of the color of blue, half of the color in red. Okay, just be very light with it. If you gotta do the X strokes, do the X strokes. Okay, but you want a nice, sweet, soft transition between the colors. Okay, it's like that, just like that. All right, and you basically leave that part of it pretty much alone. All right, as you can see all that shine there. It's all that nice color that's going on over there. All right. Okay, this is where it gets a little fun. We're gonna start playing with clouds. Okie and dokie. Let's have some fun. So I'm gonna get a nice chunk of titanium white, and we're gonna play around these clouds a little bit here. Just the tip. Now there's many ways to do clouds, of course, but I'm just using the tip right now. I got these pretty basic kind of clouds. I'm gonna go right here from the bottom. I'm gonna go from the bottom. I'm gonna touch, tap the color in there. I'll tap it in like this, just like that. And I'll just keep tapping it in, just like this. As I'm tapping it in, I'm gonna let it travel and play around and do its little thing all up in here, just like that. Now check it out. Check out what it's doing already. All right, you might not be able to see it because of the glare. I don't know what I can do to kind of soften that, but we'll work on it. Getting some more, nothing but titanium white tiplet brush. All right. Okay, right from the top up here. Get a little bit more, because I want it to be hit some brightness there, just like that. And we're coming around, get some more of this really bright color coming down up in here, just like that. Okay, I'll clean off the brush, because we got all the colors that I really want. Come up here like that. Let's get some of that purple in there. Just like that, just like so. All right, okay, clean off my brush. It's got a little purple working in there, got the blue, all that fun stuff. Like I said, we're gonna get a smaller mop brush, okay, and what I'm going to do is from the reverse, very softly, extremely soft, just like that. I'm gonna work some of that in there, just like this. Okay, I'm gonna work it, put some swirls in there like that, coming down, working it like that. And we're gonna soften some of these up. We're gonna bring some that way, soften these clouds up a little bit here, bring some in here, coming down, just like that. Where's my tissue? As I work these clouds in here. Oh, nope. Go downward. Actually, I'm doing it the right way. Going in reverse. I'm softening these guys up a little bit. Okay. And I'm mixing that purple. Okay. Put a little bit of it into the other cloud a little. Let it melt into the other cloud a little bit there. Add a little interest. Just like that. Okay. And we're going to bring some of that down, some of that purple down in here into the violet, into the black. Still circular motions. Okay, I'm not done with the back of the clouds yet. just establishing a little bit of the color. Soften up some of these guys, bring him out here, just like that. Put him right on out there. There. Okay, I know we got this little dark patch in here. Don't worry about that. All this here, don't worry about that at all. We're gonna bring some of that white right into there. It's gonna work for us, not against us. Some of that purple in there. We'll wisp some of this out that way. Just like that. Keep working it. Keep working those clouds there. Just like that. Keep working them. All right. Wipe off my brush. We're gonna go into a nice filbert. Okay. I'm gonna take my filbert, take some, nothing but straight titanium white. Okay. And we'll pop in a few nice little highlights of clouds like this. Just like that. And we'll have them kind of snake around in there. Just like that. And we'll kind of pour some of that out that way like this. And I'm just tapping, a little bit of a tap, smooth some of that out. Not too much, but just smooth a little bit of it out like that. Give a nice little rim to this one cloud. I'm getting some more just on the tip of the brush. Okay. I might want to have that travel right on up here. Let's get some more. And we'll billow this one out a little bit like that. And come on around in here, just like that. And then I'll just use the side of the brush very lightly. Just like that. I'll take the softer brush, and I'll start manipulating some of these guys. Put a little bit of that. I'm cleaning off the brush because I want nothing but pure titanium white for this part. Oh, we'll give a nice little rim of color right up in here. We'll have it come down. Really mash it in there like that. Just like that. Come on down. We're going to give a nice, let's play with this right up in here. Just like this. Just like that. Have them come down a little bit. Just like that. Mash it right up in there. We're going to take that and fade that upward. We're fading those in. Okay. So we're actually going to, the brightness obviously is coming from down below going up into the clouds. All right. Okay. We're going to take our little wispy brush. I'll take this one here. Very light, very light, very light. And we're going to wisp some of that brightness right up into the clouds there. Have it kind of melt away in those guys. Just like that. Same thing here with this guy in the corner. I might have to, there we go. I might have to lower the screen so you guys can see what I'm doing here actually. I'm just bringing some of this bright into the clouds a little bit. Not going past where I'm at. Yeah, just like that, and we'll blend that a little bit better, like that. This fella here will blend, just a little blend in there. Same thing with this guy, we'll blend that one a lot better too. Stay in one spot, blend it right in there. There, just like that. Have him travel out there a little bit. Just like that. Bring him outward a little bit more. There. Okay. Just a little bit of a different little bit of depth in that guy. Okay. Let's get, oh, where's my filbert? I get the bigger filbert. We're gonna bring some clouds, get a little bit more white. We're gonna bring some clouds down below. Okay, just a wee bit down in right here. And I'm gonna just like this. Put some of them right up in there like that. And we have it kind of disappear. But I want it a little strong here. Even though a lot of this is gonna be covered, bring some of that right down in there like that. A lot of this is going to be covered with probably a mountain and whatnot. We'll bring a little bit of that up in here too, all up on the underneath. Kind of travel down a little bit and come back up like that, just like so. So something of a little different color. All right, rinsing off the filbert real good. Now, because I use black for the base, for the clouds, all right, they'll kind of stand out. I'm just taking half of the bright color clouds and half of the background. Okay, and I'm just blending them together. Okay, just like that. Like I say, it's a little bright. You might not really see it all. Okay, but it's definitely in there. And just because you see me using all this brush doesn't mean I'm using the whole brush. It's only a few hairs that are actually touching. All right. Just wanted to let you know that. Now, different variation of clouds, but still the same technique. Okay. I'm gonna take nothing but titanium white, and I use the same. No, I won't. Where is it? With my smaller filbert. I know I just had it in my hand. It's all right. I'll just use this guy. A little bit of pure white. This is a flat brush, not really a filbert. And I'm just gonna tap in some nice bright white up in here. Now, the more you tap, obviously, the more it's gonna pick up obviously the previous color, and it's supposed to. Okay, I'm just tapping away here, and we can fade all of that a little bit later. I'll just go up in here. I don't have to scrumble anything or whatnot. Just me hitting really the sharp, bright spots of the cloud all underneath here. Kind of frame it up a little bit. I'm gonna bring some of that bright right up in here. Let's have it snake around like that. Just like that, a couple of taps. Get some more white. Work it on the other side here. Just a couple of taps like that. And maybe a little bit more here. And then a nice heavy one right up in here. Get some more of the titanium, nothing but titanium white. Pop that bright color up in there a little bit. Just like that, and fade the rest up in there. Just like that. So it's almost like some quick silver lining-ish type of deal going on here. And I'm cleverly trying to put it in places where it can be seen and not really be entirely covered by the mountain that will soon be appearing. Okay. So just tapping it away there. That's all. And plus, when I tap in like that, it gives you interesting shades and variations and whatnot in your clouds. I will take Mr. Blender. Actually, I'm gonna take a smaller one. I won't use this one. This one here I'll wash out real quick because we're almost done with this part, the top part. Almost. As far as clouds are concerned, we're almost done. Let's get the smaller one. This guy here. Okay, everything's still kind of wet, and right now I'm just blending. I'm not going to get rid of all of that all that brightness. There. A little bit of fading in there like that. Come on the other side, do the same exact thing. I'm going to just circular motion. Just get rid of the real hard spots. And if I have to tap some other brightness in here, I will. But right now, I don't really see that happening. There we go. Because remember, we got some sunlight to put in here too. But what I am going to do, just to add a little more interest here, okay, I ran out of titanium white, of course. But let's get a little more titanium white. There's a few things I want to add here. And I'm going to tap right up in here. Get some of that bright going right up in there. And just twirl it away. Okay, just like that, twirl it right into that color. Wipe off some of from my brush, and X strokes will do the trick. Just to fade some of that in there like that. Okay, and a little more, nothing but titanium white. I'm gonna pop a nice little cloud in here like this. Just tap it in there. Then circular motion, spin it, just like that. And some soft X strokes. Just like that. Okay. Just like this. Okay. Get a little touch and pop some of that highlight back into this fella. Just like that. All right. Okay. I think I'm gonna leave it be just like that. Let's wipe this away. Now, what I'm going to do for the mountains, all right, a little different. Let's grab us some nice dark color here. And I'm going to establish the horizon line with the mountains here. Maybe okay, a little bit of one right here, really thin like that, and then we'll come on around like that. We'll bring it down a little bit. And now I'm going to use the brush to fan it out a little bit. All right. But it comes down. Let's give it another little bump like that, and it comes down like that. Okay, we're gonna put the obvious horizon right about here, wrap around in here, in this area. Okay, so he'll reach right around in here somewhere. Bring him right down, right around in here, and keep him just like that. Like I said, I'll get a brush and I'll straighten that out, but somewhere around this area, like so. Okay, I might extend him. Matter of fact, I'm going to extend him right about here. Then I'll bring him in like that. So I'm gonna extend this guy right up around in here, and then it will give him a little bit of a body there. There you go, like that, like so, and it will extend him right this way. Okay, something like that for him. Okay, extend him right out there. The bigger fella, he's shaped a little odd, and he might be a little darker. He's a little closer to us, but he's on the other side there. He doesn't even have to be as tall as this guy really, but he is ahead of the other ones. All right, I'll have him come off of here like this. Okay, like that. All right. Now I don't have to use too much of the paint for this. And I'll have him, he's more of a cliff, so I'll have him come this way. And he'll jet out a little bit more like that. And then he'll just have a little, almost like a little outcrop coming down below, a little less beyond the line. But right about there, we'll take this, we'll drag some of that in there. Remember, I'm gonna take a brush and finish off the darkness here. Okay. Don't worry about that being all uneven and looking kind of crazy. Remember, the paint is still wet, so we're gonna take advantage of that. paint is still wet. Now, Yovette will be doing hers in oil while I'm doing this in acrylic. Okay. The procedure that I'm using is a lot like oil, though. So, in case you're wondering. All right, now we just already established where the horizon line is going to be for this. I'm just going to clean off my palette knife. Let's take, 3/4 inch flat. We'll do that. Do it with this one. We're going to come over here. I'll bring you guys in here. I think I did enough of that far away. So let's bring you in right about here. All right. Okay. This is where the fun begins. Here we go. We're going to smooth out this guy. Smooth him right out. Because one, he's a mountain in back of in front of the sunrise almost directly. So he's kind of in silhouette. So he's a little bit on the dark side there. But being that it is in the dark, you have to keep the silhouette fairly sharp. All right. Just like that. Bring them on in. So if you can, keep that silhouette pretty sharp. Like so. All right. If you can. I'm not worried about this. You'll see why in a second. Let's go to this guy. Okay. Also keep him fairly dark. Now you know that there's a cloud or whatnot that was in front of him, so he's looking a little on the light side, but we're going to adjust that too. And as you can see, I'll keep, now I'm not too worried about down below. Let's give him a little, well, his outcrop isn't that smooth, so we're going to chop him like that low, and then we'll bring it like around here and drag him, keep him pretty somewhat even, somewhat there. Okay, just like that. Let's darken him a wee bit though. There's going to be a play on this too. Okay, now the sunlight is obviously shining off this dude, so okay, but right about there. Okay, all right. Okay, and let the fun begin. Here we go. Let's get a wider brush for this. I'm just making it easier for myself, basically, to be honest with you. We can even do it right from here. I'll take it, some of this color, and I'll just push down with it, just like this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take him and push him. Well, I'll show you. As it gets near the front here, it gets a little narrower, like that. But then he gets a little. Let's get some of this color. He gets a little bigger, a little more there, a little bigger there. All right, now, just like that. He gets a little darker, right around in there, just like that. And then I'll take it out, brush it across, fade it across a little bit like that. Okay, like so. If it's not pronounced, I'll work that out too. I got a feeling I'm gonna need some more dark for this guy because he's starting to tack up, I believe. Let me pull back, and you guys can see what I just did there. All right, we'll wipe right across, just like that. Okay, like I said, you don't see a lot of that because of the glare this morning. All right. Can't wait to see her take on this, to be honest with you. Wipe some of that in the other direction, get some of that glare out of there. There. Okay. All right. That's enough of the great big brush. We're gonna take some, little bit of blue, a little bit of red. I'm gonna get a smaller flat brush. One's kind of a little rough around the edges, like this guy. Okay, I'm dipping in to absolutely nothing. Keep it slightly on the kind of weird browny green side. Okay. I'm gonna add a little bit of texture on this guy, just a little bit. I'll zoom you in here. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, and here we go. We start from the obvious light side, but we're just gonna put some of that in there. Does not have to be totally super detailed. It doesn't have to be, because it's mainly backlit. So you're gonna get a little bit of highlight, a little bit, but there is a little texture going on with this fella, just a little bit. Nothing to write home to mom about, because it's in the back. Okay, just like so. Okay, now I can take some of that dark color and I can plop some of that down in here, because what I'm going to do is, once I put some of this color down in there, it really just highlights the shape of the mountain a little bit more. Okay, which is what I'm doing, just strengthening up the silhouette down below. But I'm going to take care of this the same way I did the previous one. Okay, just like that. I'm gonna clean my brush. I'm gonna take a soft brush and gently just wipe in one direction, just like that. Very carefully, very lightly, in one direction. Okay, bring some of that dark back over in that corner a little bit, but just like so. Very smooth. Okay, all right. That's all I need for texture on that. I know you can barely see it, but trust me, it's there. Okay, same thing on this other guy, if I have enough. Don't look like I do. I got enough ochre. I don't have enough of the red. Oh, let's get some more. I'm gonna need some more of this anyway for let me get a decent amount of it here. I'm up here playing with this color. I know I needed more than what I had down there. Okay, anyway, yellow ochre and the alizarin crimson. It's not cad red, it's alizarin crimson. Gives me this brownish color. If I put blue in that, it's gonna make it a weird kind of gray greeny type of mixture. If I add white, it's just gonna turn completely gray, and that's exactly what it's doing. Okay, now I'm just getting a bunch of it on this little tiny brush, and I'm just gonna add some nice texture, but the texture is going straight down like this, right downward, just like that. If you gotta tap it, but it's going downward, just like that. You're not getting rid of all of the dark. Okay, well, you're just adding texture. Remember, if it looks like it's too bright, this paint, it will settle in and get dark anyway. Remember? This paint dries flat. Okay, now that I just did that, okay, you kind of mimic on the other side in the water, just a little bit. Okay, just like that. Mimic what you got there, just like that. You're gonna copy what you got down at the bottom. I'll use this brush here, and you're gonna slide gently in the other direction, just like that. Okay, it's the tide of the water moving, just like so. Okay, now looks pretty cool. It's all right, you know. So using the same brush, I'm rinsing it off here. I'm gonna get a little bit of this yellow, the yellow ochre, and some white. Tint the white. And now I'll use this for an example. I'm just gonna tap in, just like this, some quick little highlights, just like that. Tap it in. Don't keep them uniform either. Tap in some bright here and there, just like that. Don't have to be. I'm gonna wipe off some paint off on this towel here, and I'm gonna go on the side of it, and there we go. Get some of that texture going on this fella. And you don't have to add it all over the place. You know, kind of on the top a little bit. Just like that. You don't have to add too much to this, because it's basically highlighted on one side. Okay. If you think you got a little too much, you just fade that in there, fade that texture a little bit, just like that. Same thing on the other mountain, even maybe less so. Let's swing over here. Let's go to the one far in the back here. This guy. We'll tap a little bit of brightness in there, like that. Maybe a little something here on the edge of it there. And bring him down a little bit and spread him out like that. Same thing here, just there. Mainly on the ridge. Okay. This fella here, you can just get a couple little swipes across like that. This guy here, just a little bit there. Keep most of him dark though. Put him, most of that brightness up there. It's like wave lines or whatnot. And I'll show you here. Okay, just like this, go in the opposite direction. Just like that. Okay, I'm getting some more. A series of taps is all you need, just like this. Okay. But look at it. It's already looking like a reflection. Already I didn't really finish off on it. Just like this. Okay. Clean off my brush. All right. Let's put this brush back. Take this guy right here. All right. Put him right here. And lightly, very lightly, like that. You're just going to travel with that color. You're not trying to get rid of the color, but you're just trying to put it in the direction. Just like that. Okay. All right. Just like so. Let's aim this toward the middle. Let's draw back a little bit. Just, this should be enough right there. Okay, here comes the fun part, sweetheart. We're going to get some, we'll tease a little bit of, ain't much, nothing to tease really. I'll get a little bit of this yellow ochre, I guess. Mostly white. I'm picking a spot here. Not totally white. It's got a little bit of yellow ochre in it, just a little bit. Let's establish where the horizon line is. Getting a tiny bit of this white paint. I'll start it right here, right to where we think, right there, the horizon line is on this guy, right there, on in there. All right, now you got the mountain color, the mountain line. I'm just pressing. I don't have enough. Okay, all I need is a little bit more than what I just did. Now, some of it's going to touch, some of it will not, some of it will break. I still don't have enough. Because what I want is a nice strong line, but I don't want it total. There we go. Just like that. See how it's breaking up a little bit? It's catching, then it's breaking, like that. So you got instant line sparkle in there. Okay. Now, being that the reflection's kind of far away, all you need is a touch of color. Okay, and I'm gonna try to get there, got a little bit of that going. Right up in here, it collects. Because this is where the proposed sunlight's gonna be. All up in here. Okay, getting some more of the white there. And we're just tapping it in places. Let's get this established too right here. Get that established right there, right there. Nice horizon line going right in there. Just like that. Okay, now that looks like already, in your mind's eye, it looks like it's breakers hitting that stuff out there. We'll put a little bit of that up in here. Not as much, because it's still kind of small. A lot of the concentration of this glare is going to be in this area, right where I would figure the sunlight's going to hit here. Okay. There. keep it moving here. Like that. And we'll bring some straight across like that. Ooh, grief. And we'll get some of that playing around in here, but not too much. Like that. Getting some more color. Get a little bit, some sparkle going in here too, not too much, but just enough, and go across the shade line there. Okay, that adds to it also. And we'll put some of that up around in here too, just a little bit. Get some more titanium white, wipe it across. There we go, a little bit of that. Wake that up over there. You too, wake up. Let's put a little bit of that brightness over here. Like that. And maybe something going across here, real light, like just like that, going across. Get a nice line of it here. And we'll put some right up and around in here. Coming off the page, right in here a little bit. Just a little bit, just like that. All right, I think that will be just about it. And then we're gonna hit to the foreground. Like that. I think we got just about everything else I need. Pretty much done there. All right, of course, you guys are wondering, where's that sunlight at? Well, we'll pop the sunlight right around in here, just like that. Okay, of course, you got a little reflection on the bottom there, but the reflection kind of sticks out there. Just like that. And then I'm gonna take my hand and I'm gonna soften that just a little bit. Just soften it. There we go. And I'll get a little touch of that ochre, brighten it up there, just like that. Okay, a little more white. Give a nice little burst, little pop right there. Don't worry, I'll brighten it up. You'll know that it's right there. Okay, just a little bit of white in that, mainly in the center. We'll bring some of that downward here, but keep it in a circular motion, just like so. All right, but you know it's right there. Okay, when we come back, we're gonna go with the palm trees. Okay, a little bit of grass, and yep, I think that should almost be about it. All right, so I return, we'll do the palm trees and we'll close this right out. Hey, welcome back, guys. We're gonna have a little fun. Let's bring this up here. Okay, forgive me for the glare. I know there's glare all around in here and whatnot. I'm sorry about that. We're gonna take some sap green. So this darkness, this grass texture will be right around in here. Just like that, just right up in here. I'll bring some of it up here, like just like that. Just light touch, just like that. All up in here like this. It's not too difficult to do. Just like that. We'll even highlight a little bit of it, just a little bit, maybe in this section in here. Okay, now without taking off the green, I'm just putting the yellow ochre in here. Just a little bit of yellow ochre. Get some nice little grass patterns going right here in the center. Boom, 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 just like that. Maybe up in here, a little bit there, but mainly here in the center. Might get a little rim or something over there. Maybe a light touch in the corner here, coming down this way. And that's about it for that. That's all right there. No more, no less. Okay, I'm gonna clean off my brush. If you're wondering about that texture of grass, how easily I got it, would you believe this is a brush from Walmart? Right in the part of the painting that's really the least for me, the least difficult to do is actually the palm trees. All right, let's pull back a little bit here, just a little bit, and we're gonna raise it up just like that. All right, let's get Oh, a 1/2 inch would be fine. So another 1/2 inch flat. Actually, let's pick another 1/2 inch flat. Let's not use this one. Let's get this guy. Another 1/2 inch flat. All right. Some brushes I have are kind of my little favorites for flowers and such. Okay. A little bit of phthalo blue, and the rest of that cad, or that, yeah, not cad, it's alizarin crimson, fairly dark stuff. I'm gonna mix them together because I need mix a little better, a little more on that. There we go. That should be a good mix. It's a little on the blue side. Let's use the rest of that red, deepen it red up here. And basically all I'm playing with is a lot of maroon, to be honest with you. Okay, I got a lot of paint on the brush. It's fine. Okay, here we go. Palm tree number 1, big guy. Okay, he'll be right around in here. Since I already done marked him, he'll go straight up, straight up, straight up. I'm gonna curve him right about there, and we're gonna bring him right down, give him a little body to him, just like that. Boom. Okay, he's in there like that. Fairly dark. I'll put a little width on him, just like that. So we got one curved that way, in that direction. All right. Okay. The way I have it in the painting, you can. He's in there, but the way the mountains are situated, I think I made him a little too not necessarily too short, but I think his palms were directly in front of the mountains here, so I'll put a little more height on this one. He's also going to curve. He's a smaller guy. He's going to curve a little more exaggerated curve right around, and this right here, that should be more than enough right into the yellow there. Frame him a little bit, and we're going to smooth him right in there like that. I'm just going to tap in some bush stuff or whatever, just getting rid of some of this dark, because they're kind of surrounded in bush a little bit. So just like that. All right. Okay. Just cleaning off the brush real good here. Now, I can approach the palm trees in a few different ways when it comes to highlighting them. Okay, and I think I'll do it this way. I'll just take the yellow ochre, slight touch of white in the yellow ochre. Okay, we'll brighten that up a little bit, just like that. I like to use the side of the brush at times. It's just me. But let's highlight the one side of the tree. Let's bring this in a little bit so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Look, I said in there. All right, we'll bring it over here, just like that. All right. So, right on the very edge, I'll use the front part of the brush, and don't drag nothing. Just touch. It's not bright enough. You'll run into a lot of that too, if something's not bright enough. You think it's bright until you put it on the paper, and then the paper tells you not so. Okay, and I'm putting the brightness right into the yellow ochre, so it's not totally. There we go. Just like that. Put it right in there. And right now, all I'm looking for is a bright edge. No more, no less. Just like that. Just tap that in there if you can. If you can. If not, because the paint's a little wet, you can just go into it, try it again. Okay. Ochre, titanium white together. If you can, a little more titanium white. I'm using the side of the brush, just the side, and I'll just do a little light traveling with it, just like that. Now remember, the paint might still be a little tacky, and it's okay. It's going to take off, like I say, it's going to take off what it wants. Keep the rest. just like that. Okay, holding my head wasn't in the way, doing all of that. I got some on the other side that has not been contaminated or touched. And we're gonna do it again on this side, right here. I'll give it a nice touch there, give it some texture. A little tap. Okay. Some of that paint is obviously still tacky. I'm just wiping off the brush. It only takes a few seconds. Get some more titanium white. A little bit of ochre. And we go back right into it again. A couple of taps. I don't know about you guys, but at the time of me recording this, it's mighty windy outside. So, what they call spring is quite laughable. Whenever it's coming, I know it's coming, but it's still laughable. This is nothing but yellow ochre. Okay, nothing exceedingly bright. Not needed. Just like that. Okay. If I have to brighten it a little more, I will. And I think I might, but oh no, here it is. I do have some titanium white. It was hiding. Little titanium white. Okay, a little heavier on the paint. And a little touch right up in there. Just to brighten the edge a little bit. Okay. Just in the front, just a couple taps. Just to represent a little bit of that sunlight touching in there. Okay. Then I'll take the side of the brush very, very casually. Not all the way. Okay. Do the same thing on this side. Just a little couple of touches to do. Don't make them perfect. Put some little gaps in there on this fella. Just like that. Alright. Now, all he needed was something to stand out. They do stand out there in the front. Okay. Alright. Alrighty then. Let's get some, what's left of this blue. And a little bit of this ochre. Make it a really deep kind of a green. Okay. Yeah. And maybe the slightest hint of white. And we'll put some nice narrow little plant stalky things in there, just like that. Don't make them all uniform. Okay, you know, they got little bushes hanging around there. Little streaks here and there. I'm gonna turn the brush around. There we go. Just like that. Make some come up and out a little bit. Just like that. Come into the tree a little. You know. This is like where the wild things are. Okay. And I'm going to rip off my brush and I'm going to just tap some of this right into the ground there. Just like that. Here. Just like so. Don't have to be overly. Bring some of it up into that grass there. Don't want to be. Not too much anyway. Okay. Okay, we're on the final lap of this. It's the palm trees themselves. So, what we're going to do for the palms, put this back. What we're going to do for the palm trees, let's get, we'll get the script liner. Why not? I don't need no more of this medium's history. We don't need no more medium. All right, for the palm trees, let's move this up and over. Let's get some water. I'm going into whatever dark mix that might still be lingering around. Oh, I found some. All right. I'm saturating my script liner brush with it. Script liner. All right. No really excessive wind or anything blowing on these guys. So we're going to take our palm trees. We're going to go up, up, out, just like that for one. All right, we'll make these some really attractive palms. Why not? Oh, we'll have another one come out and a little shorter like that one. This one here a little longer. There. I'm getting a roll of paint after each and every one. I'll come out like that above the page, and he comes out down here like that. All right. Oh, we'll get one kind of hanging down, hanging a little low like that. That's one. All right, we give him only 4. Why not? Because we got this guy. This guy's here. He's a young one, so he's got one there. He's got one there. He's got one coming down into the water a little bit. Okay. He might have one hanging out like that, and maybe one on the other side. I'll make the one on the other side a little thicker so you know he's there. Right here, he got one coming on the other side. This one here, he got a little length to him right there, right down there like that. All right, so they look like little spider legs right now. All right. Okay. Let's get a fan brush. Let's get some water. Let's get some of this blue. We're putting it into the green. Getting some white. I'm gonna put some of that white and yellow ochre in there. A little bit of yellow ochre in there, lighten that up a little bit. If I want to darken this, then I'll add a little bit of the blue. If I got some blue left. Okay. Do I got any dark of anything left? Not really. I don't see it, but that's okay. All right. Get plenty of it here. Now, what you do with the fan brush is very lightly. Now, when you do palms, you see the fan brush is curved. You see it's curved here. There, right there you go, perfect. See it's curved? You're not using all the curve, you're using the highest point in the middle. That's how you tackle this. All right, and you start there. You'll feel it right here. And you press and you let it go. Press, let it go. Press, let it go. See the striations? Now, if this is too far, then I'll press, let it go. Let some of that background show through. Okay? Just like that. All right? Not as daunting as you would think. Gotta have loose paint though. Okay, and you don't press too hard. Another one right here. Give it a little curve, just like that. Come right over the tape. Okay, if you have to. And they come with a little curve. Keep playing with it there. Some are a little longer than others. You know, if you want to add doubles, just like that. All right, make sure you get it right in there in the middle part though. If you want to skip one, that's fine too. Skip it, curve it around, just like that. Everybody has their different ways and methods to do palms. Let's have this one just drape around. And he's gonna drape forward. Just like that, just have him drape like that. Okay, have him skip a few branches, that's fine. It's all right. Let him skip a few. It's okay. Okay. This one's a little darker. He in the back there. Just like that. Have him come around, skip a few. Just like that. And give him one out there like that. Okay. Now remember, it's not going to be as bright. Don't think it's going to be super bright. It's not. Have a little fun with it. He's a little baby guy, so he don't know what he's doing. He's trying to spread his wings, and they're still like little chicken bone pieces. That's all he is. Same thing here. Let's make sure you have him turn my brush around this way, and just like that. Give him some longer ones there. You know, another one here. Have him come down, droop down a little bit like that. A little bit heavier down here though. Get some more paint. It needs a little more water to flow around there. And we're gonna have one here. Just like that. And maybe a nice little double right here. He might need to be a little brighter. And we'll highlight him. We'll give him a little something there to kind of reflect a little bit. There we go. Like that. Maybe give a little peek of something right here with him too. Just a little something. Maybe something over here on this side, like that. A little something on the bottom over here too, a little variance in color. All right, okay. Spread him out a little bit more, just like that. Well, alrighty then. Just rinsing off the brush real quick. All right. It's almost feasible. I want to get a little bit of high grass down here. Same fan brush, let's move it over. Don't know if you can see it because of the glare. I'll zoom in a little bit. I think that glare is a little strong, so you might not see it as much. Just a couple of thick ones there. Just like that. Bring it around. Oh, maybe some right around here too. Thin up the paint a little bit so it can travel. Do it again. Just like that. There we go. A little bit of that up in here too. You know, got a nice little high peak on one, then they kind of go on the other side a little bit like that. Maybe one here too. I can't wait to see what Yovette's version look like. Fun little collaboration. I hope to see hers. Well, I will see hers eventually. Also, just to let you guys know, the time I'm doing this is way before the time she's doing it. I am way ahead. As a matter of fact, I have to contact her at the time of this recording to know when approximately she thinks she'll be finished, so I can premiere mine around the same time. That's how far ahead I am on this. I got the time right now to do it, and and it's early enough, so I just take advantage of the opportunity. That's all. All right, here we go. I do thank you for watching Yovette and myself in this. I'm very grateful. Hopefully this will maybe spark a few more people to do collabs. They are fun. You get to see a different artist's take on somebody else's work, you know. And it goes to show you no way is one right way. Okay, everybody's their own unique selves, not only in the art community, but any community, you know. And not only will my name show across, not only, well, right across here, but her website will also show across there. Okay, so support one another, encourage, don't discourage. And the very thing I said for you guys not to do, I did. You know what that is? You know what that is? I forgot one bush. That little lonely fella right here. This guy right back here. I kind of knew I'd forget him too. Just like that. A little something back there. Let's see if I got enough. Do I got enough yellow or white to kind of brighten that guy up back there a little bit? The sun hit him. There we go. Just like that. Just let the sun hit him a little bit. Of course, you guys didn't see that because I was too busy focusing on my on the name. Let's brighten this guy up a little more too while we're here and while we're at it. There we go. Brighten him a little, give him a little, just like that. And maybe a little couple touches up here, just like that. Now we're done. All right. Okay, guys. Let's bring this back. Let's take the tape off because I know it's a big mess. All right. So let's see. Let's see what she looks like without knocking the board off. Yeah, I got it taped a few times because for some reason some of the tape is not, it wants to be difficult, don't want to stay. So I think it's just this canvas is the inexpensive kind, and it kind of want to do what it want to do, like rip in inconvenient places like that. Now this is canvas, it's not paper, so I can pretty much tear it and pull any which way I want, because all it's going to do is just peel off from where it's adhered to. I got to use my knuckles because I don't know if the tape I got on my hands is fully dry or not. Now this is going to fall a little bit. I already can expect that. It's not going to stay. I know it's taped, but it's just not going to stay. See? There. So it ought to come right about here. Okay, which is fine. But then you guys can't really see it too well because of the glare. Anyway, there you have it. Another rendition of my first painting. I forgot what I called it. Tranquil Sunset or something like that I called it. But anyway, there you have it. Complete with this little bit of sun. The water lines, the motion lines, the reflections, and all that good stuff. Can't wait to see Yovette's version. I know it ought to be something else. And with all that said, thank you guys very much. Visit her YouTube page, her Facebook page. Visit my Facebook page and my YouTube page. If you like what you see and what you hear, click on the notification, or click subscribe first, then the notification bell. For upcoming tutorials and all that good stuff. Every once in a while on my lives I give paintings away. Also, paintings that look like this or better, I give them right away. Okay, so thank you once again. Hope to see you, and take care of yourselves. And thank you, Yovette, for the opportunity to do a collab with you. I really appreciate it. Until next time. Deuces.